Dianne Feinstein. Oh boy, if you cannot tell from the attitude of the show, I'm not a particular fan of her. And can I just say, at this point, there's no argument on whether or not, oh, she's moderately liberal. No, at this point, she's just conservative. You know, and imagine, by the way, because she represents California. Now, imagine if in, say, Texas, for instance, instead of putting up Ted Cruz, who's insane, the Republicans put up a moderate, or really not even part of their party candidate, like, well, I would say Dianne Feinstein as a joke, but she'd actually fit right in there, so. One example is she voted for the Wall Street bailouts in 2008, or the Emergency Economic Stability Act. So, if you were in California and you didn't like the Great Recession very much, well, you can thank Dianne Feinstein in part. Feinstein also supports the death penalty, so if you know someone who was innocent but was at the same time killed by the death penalty, which may I remind you, happens 1 out of every 20 times we use it, again, you can thank Dianne Feinstein in part. Feinstein also supported both the original Iraq War, which is fine, pretty much everybody did at the time, okay, I get it, we all make mistakes, and if we were to kick out every single person you threw out, we'd be kicking out the entire House, the entire Senate. Although, is that really such a bad thing? But she also supported the surge back in 2006, and continuing the Iraq War, the same war that killed 1 million innocent Iraqis under false pretenses. And by that I mean at least 2 false pretenses, those being that Saddam worked with Al-Qaeda to do 9/11, and then that he had WMDs, which he just did not have. Oh, and an anthrax bomb. And like 15 other things that we just never found. But they were in a truck, so that's fine. You know, she voted for the 2006 flag burning amendment, which, if you do not know, would make it illegal under the Constitution to burn the American flag. Because how dare those people use freedom of speech and protest a country? I mean, last time someone did that in the United States, that led to the United States. Oh my god, and we can't have that again. Now, credit where credit is kind of due. She did support the Affordable Care Act. Although, again, however, she said in a 2017 town hall that she is against the idea of single-payer health care, despite it being successfully implemented by almost every other modern nation. But, you know. Not only that, but Dianne Feinstein is against marijuana. She has a C- from Norwell, which I'm not entirely sure to pronounce, and has called marijuana a gateway drug, which there is literally no proof of unless we're talking, off the top of my head, gateway to get rid of several horrible diseases, or mental issues, etc., etc. She firmly has supported the United States Patriot Act, and even was a Democratic co-sponsor for a bill to expand it in 2005. So if you like the Fourth Amendment, you may not like Dianne Feinstein. She voted for the Bush tax cuts, so going back to the first one, if you don't like the Great Recession, you may not like Dianne Feinstein. She was against creating the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and even went against Elizabeth Warren when she tried to create it. So again, if you like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, you may not like Dianne Feinstein, and so on, and so on, and so on. So why am I bringing her up? Well, her Senate seat is up for re-election this year, and there are actually many who are currently trying to primary her, which I think would be a great thing to do, especially considering some of these people are actual progressives. For instance, Some of the potential ones that have been floating around are Barbara Lee, who was the only person in either chamber of Congress to vote against the Iraq War originally, and has been an overwhelming critic of the war on terror since then. Or Robert Reich, the former director of the former Secretary of Labor under Bill Clinton, who has made his whole career since then of criticizing corporatism. Dianne Feinstein loves corporatism. But those are just the potential ones. As for the real ones, we have Kevin DeLeon, at least I think that's how it's pronounced, who has been an overwhelming supporter of unions as well as green energy over the course of his political career. And we have Allison Hartson, who is Justice Democrat-backed and was one of the original sponsors of Wolfpack, a movement to help get money out of politics. Again, Dianne Feinstein loves money in politics because that's how she keeps getting reelected. All of these people would, of course, be far better for both the progressive movement and liberalism than Dianne Feinstein, and as such, I hope at least one of them gets into office. I am personally supporting Allison Hartson over all of them. However, that's only because Reich has not yet joined the movement. He's not yet joined the race. If he were to join the race, I'd more than likely do a coin toss between him and Hartson. However, if Leon gets in, I don't really have an issue with that, because he seems like a great guy. He's definitely better than Feinstein. And that's it. I'm Ephrom, and good night.